Shalom Aleichem Internet. My name is Rabbi Sender Gazinski, and here is the weekly TorahByte. This week's Torah portion is Parshat Korach, and in Parshat Korach, this Korach is the fomenter of a rebellion against Moshe Rabbeinu. Now, ostensibly, he's coming to be a man of the people, but the truth is, what Korach really wants is, as it's indicated in the very introduction, that he is Korach ben Yitzhar ben Kahat ben Levi. He's Korach, the son of Yitzhar, the son of Kahat, of the Levite family. He is of this royal family. He is Moshe's first cousin. He's so close to the throne and to the crown that he can smell it, and he carries with him this angst. That why is it that Moshe and Aaron get to sit up there in the rarefied leadership positions, and he is just this regular schnook? He's actually not a schnook, he's a Levi, but that's not good enough for him. He wants to be at the top. And so he presents himself as if he's coming as a man of the people, and he challenges Moshe and says, what right do you have to lord yourself over the rest of us? Now the truth is, he's been living with this angst ever since Moshe and Aaron become the leaders of the people, but he was biding his time. He was waiting for the right moment to make his claim. And Moshe, coming from the lesson from last week's Torah portion, provides him the perfect opening. Now Moshe, you see, last week encouraged the people that we have to leave the cocoon, leave our desert bubble here, surrounded by the clouds of glory. Manna's falling from heaven, water's coming from a rock. They were learning Torah from the greatest Torah teacher of all time, Moshe himself. And Moshe says, but this is not the purpose. You cannot be afraid to go into the land of Canaan like the spies were, because you're afraid of leaving the spiritual cocoon and all the study of the Torah, because the role of the Jewish person is not to become the greatest Torah scholar of all time. The role of the Jew is to be an activist, to go out into the world and do actions, to take the world and engage the world, because the world from the moment it was created is heading in a trajectory. It's heading towards a purpose, and its purpose is the perfect fulfillment of all of the world's potential. And that we know as the era of Mashiach, when the world that God created at the moment of Genesis arrives at its purpose and its destination. And that is when we imbue everything in this world with holy and divine purpose. And that is done by doing mitzvot. That's the purpose of mitzvot. The word mitzvah means to connect. So we take each thing we engage in, and most mitzvot, and the vast majority of the mitzvot, are material type of mitzvot. We wrap leather tefillin, we light wax candles, we eat challah, we keep kosher, we take our business proceeds and we give it to charity. It's all very material by nature, deliberately so, because that's actually the purpose, to take the material, to imbue it, to connect it with its divine spark and divine purpose, elevate it, and actually move all of the creation towards its trajectory. And that is Korach's opening. He says, so if that's the case, if the goal is not to become the greatest Torah scholars, but to become ones who engage and interact with the physical and material world, to do mitzvot, Moshe, you don't do those any better than we do. What right do you have to put yourself above the rest of us? I can do a mitzvah, you can do a mitzvah. I can wrap tefillin, you can wrap tefillin. I can keep kosher, you can keep kosher. I can take the proceeds of my business, and I probably do that better than you, because I do more mundane work than you do, and I can elevate it with giving it to tzedakah, etc., etc. So what right do you have, Moshe, to elevate yourself above everybody? Sure, you're a Torah teacher, but we just finished saying that Torah is not the main goal. Torah teacher has their place in society just like everybody else, but that's within society. What gives you a right to lord yourself over the rest of us? Now, the truth is, this is a very important message and lesson to be learning right here now, as we are coming directly from Gimel Tammuz, which is the yahrzeit of the Lubavitcher Rebbe. Because really what Korach is asking is, what is the purpose of a Rebbe, of a Rebbe? You see, a Rav, which is the halachic authority in the community, that's necessary. We don't all necessarily know how to do all the mitzvot, so we need the halachic authority. We have also a purpose for the Rosh Yeshiva, for the head of the academy. But ostensibly, a Rebbe is unique in a different position. The Rebbe was historically not the individual who was the head of the yeshiva, the head of the academy. And he was not the Rav of the community, the halachic authority of the community. The Rebbe was more like this, is a spiritual mentor, a guide, a leader. And to a certain point, Korach is saying, we got this. I'll do the mitzvahs, right, as to a certain degree. I've now clarified by the halachic authority how to do it, and I've learned how to do it, so I could do it. And what do I need? A spiritual guide and mentor that I go and I receive counsel from, etc., etc. What is the purpose of a Rebbe? Why is a Rebbe so integral to Judaism? And the answer is given, actually, or this question rather, was presented to the sixth Chabad Rebbe. When somebody came to him and challenged belligerently and said, fine, a Rosh Yeshiva I get, a Rav of the community I get, but what do I need a Rebbe for? It's my soul and my relationship with God, and I'll figure that out. And the Rebbe will worry about his soul. And true, the Rebbe is a very holy individual, but that's great. But that's for, that's good for the Rebbe. Why do I need to, in my journey, in my soul, need to come to the Rebbe for advice and counsel? And the answer is given by the previous Rebbe. The previous Rebbe couched his answer in a question, which is obviously very typical. And he turns around and he says to the fellow, listen, when you have something that ails you in your body, right? Something feels wrong, or you're ill, you're sick. What do? The fellow says, I go to a doctor. And the Rebbe says, why would you go to a doctor? It's your body. It's the illness you need to deal with. It's something you need to fix. And the doctor will worry about his body, and you'll worry about your body. But, says the man, yeah, but a doctor is one who knows about the body. And when I will describe to him what I'm dealing with, he will be the one who, the expert, to present for me a pathway back to health, to how to fix it. Says the Rebbe, that's exactly what a Rebbe is. A Rebbe is a soulologist. It's an individual who makes it his business to know souls. And so that when you come and you say, I would like to achieve perfection of health for my soul, I'm feeling like I'm ailing in my soul a little bit. I have I'm sad, or I am too indulgent, I am angry more than I should be. These are soul maladies or soul issues, or maybe I'm not necessarily dealing with a malady, but I just want to achieve greater perfection in my soul. Sure, it's your soul, but the Rebbe is the guide, is the mentor. He knows, he can tell you about your soul. He's a soulologist. And in Judaism, we have a tremendous respect for guidance and advice. We understand that it is not easy to cultivate a relationship with God, to know the path that best march on, to go in the best possible way in service of the divine, and to achieve perfection of my potential. And for this, I need guidance. I need advice. And that is the job of the Rebbe. The Rebbe is the Raya Mehemna. He is the faithful shepherd, or the shepherd of faith, that we all can use as we walk on the journey. So know this, while we are each looking to achieve our perfection with goodwill and with a commitment to do the best we can, we oftentimes need, not oftentimes, we always can use the advice, the counsel, the loving guidance of our faithful shepherd. And so we all owe a debt of gratitude to the Moshe Rabbeinu of our generation, to the Rebbe who was singularly devoted to his flock and helping them achieve their true divine perfection. Everybody should have a wonderful, wonderful Shabbos. I'm wishing you much continued Hatzlacha, much continued success in your divine mission.